Hello and welcome to another exciting kind of edition of Top Hat Chat with myself, Street, the Top Hat Gaming Man, and Orb. Sorry, I looked out of my vision and I had to see that. That's peculiar.
Yes, very New Japan.
Yeah.
What's wrong with it?
I didn't say anything was wrong with it.
Should we just...
It's all about having a presence on YouTube, you see.
Okay. Tonight on the channel, we are going to be discussing game theory and why they're horrible, greedy people.
Is that exactly what we're going to be discussing?
No, not really.
Okay.
We're being a bit silly. But yeah, no, we are discussing game theory, and there's a specific controversy that has happened this week that I think that you wanted to introduce.
Yes, there's been a controversy over the previous week involving the rather rotund 9 million subscriber YouTube channel known as Game Theory, where they basically done a live stream on YouTube, I believe, or it could have been Twitch, or it could have been both. Who knows, or who really cares?
Mix up.
But they made a video featuring a obscure Hindi game known as Heartbound.
Never heard of it.
No, neither have I, and neither had anyone else, particularly from what I hear. But for some reason, they felt the need, instead of just titling the video Heartbound Playthrough, or whatever they named the video, is this the Undertale sequel, ? Or something along those lines.
Oh, just completely misleading.
Yeah,
Like,
misled 9 million people. They chose to mislead 9 million viewers. How evil is that, really? Like, people say, I'm the most evil man on YouTube. Yet there's people like that around.
At least your clickbait is generally based around fact.
And reality.
well,
And reality.
I'd say that, but
I use clickbait, but it's not misleading. That's the difference. There's clickbait, because technically any good thumbnail should be a form of clickbait, because it's there to pull in an audience. But you don't want to mislead them and get them to the video and they're there for something completely different.
Boris Johnson didn't have a problem misleading 17 million people.
We're not doing politics again.
It's not a politics point, I was just saying.
It's true he didn't.
Yes, we're going off task anyway.
Okay, so game theory.
Would you like a cup of tea? Are you sure you do not want a cup of tea?
Yes, please.
That's one of my favourite things ever.
It is.
It is,
discuss
yeah,
it.
that is an awesome little...
Anyway, we've now gone really off topic.
We have. Anyway, the reason why this was so controversial, we know YouTubers do this constantly, all the time. All the big boys are very greedy, horrible people, essentially, and they need endless piles of money for absolutely no reason. However, this one was particularly special as the developers of the game Heartbound started screeching on Twitter about how angry they were, calling their game basically an Undertale sequel, even though it isn't an Undertale sequel, and basically degrading their game using clickbait.
Ouch.
And on top of that as well, they was also angry that in the stream they never even put in the effort to get the developer's name right. They mentioned the company who I believe are Pirate Software. Please do not attack me, Pirate Software, if I'm wrong, but they called it Pirate Games in the stream, and they was very angry over that.
Okay.
They just felt very disrespected and undermined by game theory.
I mean, this is a strange one, I suppose. Have you seen the game?
Only because of game theory.
Okay, and how similar is it to Undertale?
It stands on its own ground,
Yeah?
but then again, it's called Heartbound, which kind of plays on the whole Earthbound thing, doesn't it? And Heartbound and Undertale are kind of love letters to Earthbound anyway. They're all like Earthbound imitators. So comparisons can definitely be made. The controversy spread from there though as well, because the people who made Heartbound were very angry because they said any YouTubers who talk about games, you need to list who the game was developed by in the description and a link to where you can purchase it, because they're making money off the back of the developers.
That's too much.
It is too much. That's what I'm saying. There's sides to both sides of this argument. There's what would be the word? Twats on both sides, I suppose would be the word, wouldn't it?
I mean, initially I was like, game theory probably shouldn't have done that. If they're going to, like, 9 million subs, you need to do your research. You know, we've only got 2,200-ish on this channel, so we do no research.
Yes. But we did watch a video for 12 minutes before this.
To be fair, I was messing around with the stream beforehand and I didn't watch all of it.
But we tried.
But yeah, but we had it on in the background at least.
That sounds like a very strange stance to take, because I could produce a video about the effectiveness of manifestos in the in the harnessing of support at a ground level grassroots level for political movements, but I don't have to put a link to Mein Kampf available on Amazon in my description, because just because I'm talking about the effectiveness of personal manifestos doesn't mean I have to go, but you can buy it here.
Yeah.
Why should I have to do that?
You would think if you was the Heartbound developer, you would be absolutely over the moon that a huge channel like Game Theory have spotlighted your small Hindi game, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You would, especially bearing in mind that it didn't have a lot of traction.
Yeah, you'd think it would drive sales. But did they do that on purpose? Is that why they kicked off, really? Was it to get even more traction behind their game? Otherwise, maybe a few people would have heard about it through watching that video, but now we're talking about it and everyone else is talking about this Heartbound game.
Yeah.
So was it calculated? Maybe Game Theory are even in on the promotion. Maybe this is a conspiracy, goddammit.
Well, to be fair, they're probably going to make...
Like the vegan sausage rolls Piers Morgan thing, where Piers Morgan and Greggs both have the same marketing agency.
Yeah, it's all marketing.
So is this the same thing, essentially? Is it like the vegan sausage rolls, Piers Morgan fiasco?
Could be.
Yeah.
Are we seeing that again?
I mean, it's a strange one because, like, they should be quite happy. I think that by doing what they've done to their 9 million subscribers on YouTube, if you would have posted a link to the game in the description, it wouldn't have driven as much interest as to basically being outraged at something.
Yeah. And then it went further from this as well. The actual Undertale creator, Toby Fox, came out of the woodwork as well, because Matt Pat, the creator of Game Theory, was defending himself, and he was like, actually, no, you've gone too far.
I don't accept your apology or your defence.
Which I thought was quite funny.
What was his name?
Toby Fox.
Okay, Toby Fox. I just need to put this out there. Toby Fox did not make Earthbound.
No, he made Undertale, which is the game we are going to be playing on twitch.tv/Top Hat Chat at 9 p.m. British time, directly after this stream. And no, Toby Fox, we are not going to bother listing the name of this game in the description or links where it can be purchased, because that's your responsibility, and we are giving you free publicity by playing it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Undertale's a huge game. I don't think that there's a lot of people that don't know what it is. I'm pretty sure that everybody that is currently watching this is probably aware of Undertale.
Yes, I would agree. Going back to the original point, though, which is actually in our thumbnail, so we do not put out misleading clickbait tonight, are Game Theory intentionally putting out misleading clickbait to get views? Are they doing that evil to the world?
I mean, I think they probably are. What do you think, Orb?
I'd like to think that they got enough wherewithal to do a marketing campaign like this. It just seems like an odd choice of why they would do it with Game Theory and with this Hindi game. Like, what's the link there? That's the only thing that I'm failing to see.
So do you think this is all a work, brother?
I think if it's work, it's a good work, but I don't know if I have enough faith in people to presume that they're that clever. So
I think it's probably a genuine mistake and a genuine kind of clickbait thing that they tried to get out to try and get more views because they're greedy, and they kind of capitalise.
Here's the big
of it.
thing, though: if you're a YouTube channel with 9 million subscribers, you've got a big outreach. You're pretty much controlling YouTube to some degree by that point. Your videos are could constantly go to the top of search boxes and that purely on the size of your channel. So why would you need any reliance on misleading content by that point? Why would you need that?
Yeah, no, yeah, you should be making good content.
Yeah, like I would not understand. Whilst you're at that level, you would not be completely creatively driven. Like, why are you needing to put out literally spam? If someone's already rich, they have no need for spam. I don't understand it, Mr. Matt Pat, if you're watching this video, because I know you do watch videos when people rant about you. So, hello, Mr. Game Theory. I know you're probably watching us. He will be watching us.
Really?
Yes,
Oh.
I'd make the presumption.
Yeah.
Just like when I had some words to say about Watch Mojo and the creepy CEO posted on the video.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah,
You had a big argument actually about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was fun though.
But yes. Matt Pack, is he being greedy?
The thing is that but it's part of the algorithm. Obviously, he's built up from a point of nothing, and that's how he got big. If something is working, you don't change it.
Something else I've mentioned as well, I will agree with you there, but he has changed it. That's the point. When he first started out, he used to make really good content, what everybody loved.
I know where this is going.
He was making game theories, and the theories actually made sense.
And what is he making now?
He basically went on a long run of making just videos about the children's game Five Nights at Freddy's. That's all his content was for ages because it was getting lots of views.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he regularly just goes for the views rather than the quality.
So there's nothing derogatory to... Oh, well, to be fair, that was relatively derogatory.
Would you say that's derogatory?
No, I wouldn't
Saying
say...
he's money orientated rather than creatively orientated.
No, I'd say that's more of your opinion.
Me too.
You'll have to keep your derogatory comments to yourself
I will.
till the actual stream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Twitch.tv/Top
And then
Hat
we won't
Chat.
get banned for saying...
We won't get banned. We're fine. We're fine.
Something what confuses me though, I've mentioned on Twitter earlier this week that as of July 2019, I am going to try going pro on YouTube, and I'm doing it with 32,000 subs, and I don't put out misleading clickbait. So why would a channel that much bigger than mine still need to do that? Yeah, I don't need to do that, and I've only got 32,000 subs, and I can survive on that money.
So on that cheddar, you know?
But I've already got enough money to survive. Basically, has he been worked into believing that he needs all this material crap, basically, what he doesn't need?
Come
What's he
on.
been worked into?
This is where Orb will shine. Go.
What's he been worked
Look,
into?
I don't think he's being worked. I think it's human nature. Green eye syndrome is human nature. People have done it from the word go.
No, green-eyed, that's jealousy.
Which is what ultimately fuels people's
Okay.
desire for wanting more things, because they go, this is all awesome. I have all this good stuff, and then they see that one dude who's driving a slightly nicer car, who has a slightly hotter husband, or has a slightly nicer house, and they go, damn, I'm missing out. I need to put in some more work. And then they do it, and then they get there, and they go, hold on, this Warren Buffett dude's got more things than me. I want that. So they carry on doing it, and they're doing it, and it never ends. It never ends, because you never have enough.
Again, I'll be really honest, it's the first time in my life I've really had money. It's the first time I've really had money, and it feels like a waste of time. It really does. Honestly.
This is some lucid thinking, right?
It's true, though. It feels like a waste of time. That's why I'm going full-time on YouTube, because I value my time far more than I do the money.
Yeah.
But by the end of this experiment, within a year, do you not think that you're going to value your money more than your time, and you're going to start making 12 Switch videos a week?
That's true. I could already be a full-time YouTuber and just put out content daily about whatever the news is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I'm creatively driven. I'm not financially driven.
Yeah.
I like to be remunerated for my creativity, but it's the creativity which is more important.
What you're saying...
It's at a higher place on Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
So what you're saying is you're kind of like Kenny Omega, like... WWE have come offering you all this money, and you're like, no, it's not the money. I want the creativity.
Exactly.
I want the creative
I completely
freedom.
agree with him.
So I'm going to go somewhere else where I get probably a bit less, but I can do what I want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like finances are a lower human need than creativity.
Well,
that's almost a fact.
Well, Google do that. Google give you at least a day a week to work on whatever you want, I believe. Like, whatever you want. It does not matter what. As long as you work on it during that company time and you show something at the end of like a 2 or 3 week cycle. And it can be anything, it doesn't matter. And you get paid exactly the same amount as you would for your normal work. It's just this complete creative freedom to work on whatever.
Yeah. I would infer from what I've seen about this Matt Pat, who runs Game Theory. Originally, he was probably one of the good guys. He was creatively driven. I know a lot about this man's history. He was involved in theatre and stuff like that. He wanted to be an actor. He couldn't get anywhere. He graduated from university. And that's why he ended up going over to YouTube.
Oh.
And so he was putting out a really fun, creative product at one point down the line, but now it seems to be financially driven rather than creatively driven, unless the way he sees it now, it's been warped somehow into the more money you can make proves that's the more creative you are. Who knows?
Well, it's not, maybe not creative, but the more successful you are. I mean, the whole, like, how you measure the successfulness of a person seems to be how much money they can make.
I used to do that, but then one day, like I said, I just realised I was a complete idiot.
I mean, for the majority of people, this is how they see the world. And maybe he's still stuck there.
I suppose so. Some people aren't quite as developed as myself, spiritually.
We're not doing this again.
No, because we know where it leads.
Yeah. No, we're not doing this again. But yeah, no, in all seriousness.
Sorry, I got to be carried away.
Yeah.
It's just, you're making it now like Child is evil.
He is. He is.
Yeah.
He is. And don't mention that name either. Yeah, so it's a very strange thing. And being able to measure your success, I mean, there are other ways to measure success, and he's clearly very successful at what he does. He's
Yes.
clearly very good at what he does.
Of course.
Otherwise, he wouldn't have 9 million
No,
subscribers.
it's outrageously successful. But
Yeah.
you would think by that point you would want to. Well, if it was me, I would want to move on. Like I said, I definitely want to move on.
But the thing is that when do you call it? I think this is a problem. Okay.
Well, I've called it. I've already called it on Twitter. I will probably, provided it's making me enough to sustain me.
Okay.
And when I get to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, I will act my Patreon. That's an example because you don't need certain things in life.
But that's the thing. It's like,
And I know there's YouTubers like Metal Jesus, 700,000 subscribers, turning over mega money, and then he's asking for Patreon donations over a little bit of mould in his living room.
Yeah, that to be fair,
Greed. That's what I'm talking about. YouTube greed. Why do they need that much money?
Because you start to live to your means. That's one of the problems.
But needing 8,000 games isn't anyone's means. It's called being a bit mentally ill,
And
really.
say for example, right? Say for example, you're working towards your 100,000 subscriber goal, right? At the moment, your split of YouTube money to Patreon money is what? About 50-50?
It varies from month to month. One month, Patreon can make up 60% of what I earn. Another month, Patreon will only be 30% because the money fluctuates that much.
So say as an average.
It's 50-50 if you average it out, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you hit 100,000 subscribers, and say for example you're taking home 50-50. So you're taking home £5,000 in YouTube money and £5,000 in Patreon money. Are you just going to go? Well, I'm going to say goodbye to that.
Yes, I would, because ethically, why on earth should I be taking £5,000 a month off my fans when I'm making enough money to sustain myself, to live in any country in the world? I think it's a bit sick to continue to take money from your fan base when you're completely financially secure.
That's quite nice. That's a nice thing to say.
I literally believe that. I strongly believe that.
I genuinely think you'll do it as well. Like, no matter how much of a hill you are, I genuinely think you will.
I'm only a villain for the greater good at the end of the day.
Yeah.
At the end of it, I'm going to go too far. I'm going to shut up now.
I was goading you in. I was like, please, please. So you've got anything else to add to this, Orb? There must be some stuff that we can that we've missed.
I don't think it sounds very, very conducive to the Western way you're talking.
The Western way is ridiculous.
Well, it's
In some ways.
success.
It's the best way. I will admit it's the best way so far. That's the thing. The Western way is fantastic, but there is plenty of ways we've got now because of the Western way to manipulate the Western way.
Okay.
For example, I will be making, like, this is my plan, as you'll be aware. I'm going to be making that meagre amount on YouTube, and then I'm just going to move away out of the West because I'm just going to be receiving Western money and be wealthy in a non-Western country. Simple as that.
Manipulating the system.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about how else we can manipulate systems.
No, we will not.
But you can. And to be fair, it's a relatively good way of doing things. And it does feed your creativity.
Indeed.
Which is good.
Yes.
Which is good.
I want to live in many regions.
Makes sense. So, have we got anything else that we need to say about this?
It's a tough call. I mean, I understand people's desire to make money, and you can put some sort of moral code on it all you want, but unfortunately, that is 98% of this world.
The thing is, if you're in a continuous chase for financial gain, you will end up unhappy. It's as simple as that. Because you can't win that battle.
Well, the ultimate goal is fulfillment.
Yeah, but you're not going to get fulfillment from keep adding zeros to the end of your bank account. That doesn't equal fulfillment because there's no creative payoff.
No. Obviously, the chasing of the proverbial dollar.
Because that doesn't end either. There's no completion run in that either.
No, but what you are meant to, like, ideally, kind of where you're meant to get to is a point in your life where you are financially sound enough for you to have enough free time to do the things that enrich you. The problem being is we live very much in a world now, certainly here, where you work to live, and like you don't live, you work to live.
And that's exactly why I'm going full time on YouTube, despite the fact I've got a meagre small subscriber base at the moment, because that work to live philosophy is outrageous. And it's designed, the only reason it's engineered that way is for the greater benefit of the country or the corporations or the government than the individual themselves.
Yeah.
Which is a ridiculous, stupid way to live, a subservient way to live, which I don't agree with, and I don't think anyone else should submit that way either.
I think that if you can get out of it, you should.
And to be fair to Matt Pat, Game Theory, he has got out of it. But where now, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's the
it's
thing.
a situation I've not been in. So.
I mean, if, for example, right, we were doing this channel, and it got really big because we started doing other types of videos that maybe weren't the most interesting to us, but were getting the views, bringing in the money, okay? If that was something that we did and we went full-time just on this channel, I would still want to do these stupid little chat pieces that we enjoy so much, where we all shout at each other and get quite annoyed, you know, as part of kind of keeping the channel going and keeping that kind of thing up, because I enjoy it. I'd still want to be part of that. Because the only reason that we're all sitting here at the moment is the fact that we are friends and that we've been friends for a long time. We have similar interests. And if we didn't do this, we would probably not spend any time together.
Yeah, no, that's
because
a very
life
fair point.
takes over.
That's a very fair point. I mean, it did get down to the fact that we at most would see each other like 3-4 times a year.
Oh, if we were lucky.
If we were lucky.
Yeah.
Like, and it would be for special events. I mean, obviously we had WrestleMania every year, but there would be 1 or 2 local shows that we'd go to and a few other things, and that would be it.
Yeah.
Whereas before, you know, go back, 10 years, if something like that, if that, we were, most of the week living round each other's and doing stupid stuff in back gardens, like, you know, putting chairs across each other's heads and doing silly things, and it's funny, like, I think there's a lot to be said for that loss of time and that loss of, it's an innocence in a way, because you really don't concern yourself with the problems of the world until you get to a point where you're stuck in this world because you've got to work all the time.
Yeah.
You become so concerned with things you ultimately don't have any control over.
I mean,
it ruins everything.
If you look at some other kind of big YouTubers that have got big kind of recently, one that I think of in particular, I won't use his real name, but let's just for the sake of argument call him, I don't know, TWAT25. Sorry. Nobody knows who it is.
TWAT25.
No, to be fair, I really like him. But like, he seems like he spends so much time editing his videos that he's lost that life balance.
He does look like a very tired man.
I was just saying something horrible for effect because I haven't said anything really horrible for a while.
But yeah, he does look like a tired man. And here's the thing with big YouTubers, much bigger than him, as in like we're talking to Matt Pat level, Logan Paul, etc.
Sorry, your face was brilliant. I'm going to enjoy watching that.
What I wanted to say about these big YouTubers, they've kind of gone the wrong way in life when it comes to the line, with great power comes great responsibility.
Do they have great power though?
Yes, they're influencers. They're reaching a ridiculous amount of people and they're becoming role models. So that now children watching those sort of channels are aspiring to be like those horrible people.
I think some of them are influencers.
I'm going to quickly have a go at anybody that uses the term influencer for anybody that is on Twitter, on Instagram, or on YouTube generally. Right? There are some people who are genuine influencers, but the majority of people that are now referred to as influencers are influencing people to do absolutely nothing.
Well, it's Brian Zane's nickname, the guy who does Wrestling with Regret channel, and he's a wrestler. He's the influencer Brian Zane.
Oh God!
Because he's a manager.
I really, really hate it. Like, I don't like. If anything, we are influencing people to bum about and play games.
Influencing people to try and break the system.
Yeah. In this particular video, yes. But in general, we're influencing people to bum around and do nothing.
I think my real goal in life going
We're
forward
not influencers. We're
is
idiots.
I do want to be an influencer. That's my goal. I need a goal. That's my next goal. I'm going pro on YouTube in July. From there, I want to start a commune. And any of my subscriber base are welcome to live in my commune. I've not decided where it's going to be, but it'll probably be somewhere in maybe Siam or Burma or somewhere like that. But it will happen.
This has a very Jonestown feeling.
I feel like it's not going to be long before it's compulsory to go.
Yeah. Are you going to join?
No, because this is...
But you won't have to work those horrible lives anymore. You'll be with me. You'll be safe.
And listen to your sermons.
You'll be safe.
And drink Kool-Aid.
See this face? This is this face having a thought that I shouldn't say.
You'll be safe. You can think of me as a brother. You can think of me as a father.
I bet it's going to be in French Guiana.
You can think of me as a god.
Prefer not to.
It's a choice, though. That's what I'm saying. I present choices.
You can think of me as a god, or you can leave. Get out.
Get out.
Now. In fact, no, you can't leave. You have to go to our prison on our camp for not believing.
We will not have a prison. We will not have a prison. We'll have a thinking section.
There you go. It's just a different title.
I'm not going there.
This has got sinister written all over it.
Yeah.
It's going to be Top Hat Town. To the Jonestown.
Yeah. To be fair, I've quite enjoyed this ridiculous rant that we've gone off. There's so many tangents.
Okay, are we going to go over to Twitch now?
I suppose so. So we've gone from this wonderful YouTube segment that we've done. Do you want to do a decent outro?
Yes, if you would like, go follow us over on twitch.tv /Top Hat Chat. Once we are over there, we will heavily engage with the chat section. So if you want to contribute to this discussion, you will be able to over there, and we will be here to answer your questions and comments. We are going to be playing Undertale, which brings us full circle, talking about this whole game theory conspiracy. And yes, these are two collector's editions, the PS Vita version and the PS4 version.
We'll talk about this more.
Yes, indeed. So, in our opinion, we do believe that MatPat, for whatever reason or not, is producing misleading clickbait. However, that's just a theory, a game theory. Thanks for watching. Yeah. Cut.
You're not meant to say cut, just do it.
Yeah, I was about to, and then you started talking again. I'm going to cut now. Yeah, we're going over to Twitch.